Mr. Billy Bob Thornton, how you doing today?
Good, man. I love the name of your show.
Appreciate. I love the hat. So I think the hat's better than the name of the show, though. I'm digging it. So Billy McBride, really cool under pressure as always. But I mean, you have a near-death experience. It's hard not to be changed by that, right? So where's he at mentally heading into this season?
Probably knows that he has to look for who he is more than ever, but also more confused about how he would start that process than ever.
That's pretty. Yeah, that's exactly how you put it. I'm finding it interesting though. He's got so many important people in his life. Who would you say is the most important person in his life right now?
His daughter, for sure. No.
Kind of expand on how complicated that relationship is going into the season.
Well, I think in the beginning, I think she probably felt more like the parent because here I was, this alcoholic who was always ruining his life, every other week. And so there was too much pressure on her to, you know, pull him along and make him be a father. And as it turns out, he sees her going down the same path possibly that he did. And that's what wakes him up.
Absolutely. You've faced some pretty tough customers in these previous three seasons and had some great guest stars on the show. And this season, you get to square off with JK Simmons. So, what was it like working with him on this season? And talk about that tension in those scenes between Billy and George Sachs.
Yeah, JK and I had only done one thing together, and that was in the mid 2000s on a movie called The Astronaut Farmer. He had one scene in that with me. So that was the only experience we had working together. But then when I was told that he was cast as my adversary, I thought, well, that's really good because when you have an adversary, you want someone to push against, and you need someone who can push back. Otherwise, you can't give it everything you need to. And I knew that JK was up for that task. And we didn't have a lot of scenes together, but anytime you have very few scenes with someone and yet they make an impact, sometimes they're more powerful than the people you're with every day. And you have to drop the idea in a scene that you're friends and that you like each other sometimes. That's one of the hardest things for an actor. It's like overcome the fact that you either like them or don't like them or whatever it is in real life and just do what's asked of you. And the good news is that JK had no problem looking me in the eye and telling me to, you know, and so I had no problem telling him that back.
Well, it worked out beautifully then.
Exactly. But then, when they call cut, it's like the old cartoon with the roadrunner and the coyote and the sheepdog. They clock in, hey Sam, hey Joe, and then they go fight each other all day and then clock out.
That's perfect. I love that. What a great comparison. I love it. Getting a little bit more serious, though, the opioid crisis, obviously a big topic in society right now, has been for a few years. How do you feel like the show kind of balances telling your story within the show, but also shedding light onto the larger issue?
I think it does a really good job of it, actually. I mean, we were very happy to be telling this story because it is a terrible crisis, and I've had friends who have fallen victim to the opioid crisis. So it was personal for me, and I loved sticking the knife in every chance I got. It was, I'm not real fond, and I don't think anybody is really at the end of the day. I don't think anyone's fond of people killing people legally. You know what I mean?
Not,
So
not at all.
not at all. So it's good to be able to, you know, broach a topic like this. And, I've said to friends of mine, maybe this show will be polarizing, because of, with the pandemic and, you know, the pharmaceutical companies and all that kind of stuff, and people are very divided right now. But that's okay by me because if you're stirring people up, you're doing something right.
Darn right. And you'll see it on Amazon Prime Video this Friday, September 24th. Billy Bob Thornton, thank you so much, man. And it's an honor.
Thanks a lot, man.